Hello Pisces, this is a timeless reading for you. I'm using my own tarot cards, my medieval oracle cards. In the middle of the deck we have the frog, around the frog we have the letter, the death card, dungeon and Fortuna or Lady Fortune. Lady Luck, I think that's how you call her in English. The frog in my deck stands for change or transformation. The frog can also be a person or opportunity that you might not feel attracted to in the beginning. That might appear weird to you, but you know, it is leaned towards this idea of kissing the frog. And then the frog might turn out to be something else than what it appeared to be in the first moment you saw it. So it could be some situation like this for you, that there's something that you don't want to open up towards to because it's just not appealing to you. You don't find it attractive. It doesn't have to be a person. But for most of you, I feel like this is just about a kind of transformation, a kind of change. And I feel it's not only an internal change. I feel like there is an external change as well. Like there is something that is coming to an entire death. Don't fear the death card. By the way, I'm not getting anything negative from your reading. This could be a change that either feels neutral to you or even good. This could be a change that you have been waiting for a very long time. We have the dungeon card here. This can be a metaphor for some of you for your own imprisonment in some kind of life phase or stage of your life that felt like you had no power over your life, and despite trying new things, like nothing really came to fruition, or maybe you couldn't even try a lot of things. Maybe someone was tied to a hospital bed. Some people get sick and they, you just can't get up because you have some kind of serious illness, or other people maybe after a loss fall into a very deep depression that can be very crippling. And it could be anything for you. It could also be a very nasty mindset that you had about yourself, because maybe you experienced something deeply traumatizing that made you think about yourself in a certain way, and this mindset kept you imprisoned in some kind of situation. Or maybe it was just some part of your spiritual journey, like so to say, some higher power or your spiritual guidance held you imprisoned in a certain situation until you learned something from it. This dungeon card could mean several things. Anyway, for some of you, I feel it could also represent a literal situation about someone being in prison. Don't worry, it's not you. Someone having to go to prison. And also don't worry, as I said, this is not a negative reading. If there is someone of you for whom this resonates, that you might hear of someone having to go to prison, this would be a relief to you. This is not someone you feel sorry for going to prison. It could even be that some of you have tried to make someone to go to prison who did something to you, but this is just for very few of you. It could also be, we have the letter card here, that you might receive an information that someone died in prison. This could just be, it doesn't have to be someone close to you. And also, again, I'm just repeating myself because I know people get quickly triggered if this is the case. that you might receive a message that someone had died in prison, because look at the prison card or at the dungeon card. The dungeon is empty. Which could also mean that someone is getting released from prison and you might receive a message about that, but that's not what I'm feeling with the death card here. There's just an ending. It can be a literal death. And do not worry, this is not a situation for you that will hurt you or burden you. This could be that, just imagine the worst case, someone who is very, very dangerous. You don't even have to know this person. It could just be that this is someone in your environment, someone in your country that maybe you were worried about. A stranger that you just heard, this is very dangerous, who killed several people, and you were afraid that this person might be released out of prison and, after 20 years, and they will just start all over again. But then you hear that this person has died in this prison. But even, it could be something drastic like that for just a few of you, maybe just for one person. But for others of you, or for most of you, I feel like this is about either your own imprisonment, your metaphorical... Sorry, my English is not always perfect. Is it metaphoric or metaphorical? You know what I mean. Imprisonment might soon come to a death, to an ending, an entire ending. Like there is just, it could even be that you were trapped in an apartment, not because the doors were locked, but because you, like maybe, let's say you hate your apartment or house situation, like you have problems in your neighborhood and maybe you really wanted to leave, but you couldn't find a new apartment. I think we have this in Germany, especially in where I live. In my city here, there's a huge problem with apartments. This has been going on for several years now, and it's just increasing each year, each month. It could be something like this for some of you, that you really wanted to leave, change location, and it just didn't work out, and you just felt so imprisoned there. But this will come to an end. There is a message about that. It could even be about an unemployment, something that was stuck for a very long time. It could even be a relationship, a marriage that is being divorced, but also here I don't feel drama or pain in this reading. I feel like this is more like, this reading feels quite practical actually. Some of you might experience a huge relief. Others of you might have inwardly already expected that soon, maybe you already felt that it will soon come to this situation. So you already had that moment of relief at the time that reading resonates, when this message comes in, that this could be something that you were like intuitively already expecting. And receiving the news about it would just be a confirmation about what you were already thinking. And this situation it will just be entirely over. Like there is no more way of going back to it. And there is no remorse about anything. There is no nostalgia attached to it. It's very dry, very clean. That's not a bad energy. Sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes something is just utterly over and there are no huge emotions attached to it. And the reading takes a good ending. We have the Lady Luck, Lady Fortune, Fortuna, however we want to call her. And I feel like this is a win for you. There is... It's a material win. I do not always feel this with the Fortuna card. Sometimes not only material things are of value to us, we also have other values that are much more profound. But I don't know why, I'm just getting that sense like there is something... financial or material in general. That's just, after this paperwork, this message, whatever this is true. There is something coming in for you. It could be something that is just, owed to you, that you will finally get back. Maybe someone has taken something from you that you will get back. Maybe you have worked for something and waited a long time for this. Or maybe this is just, the change. Like after something has utterly ended, and then there will be this quick and very vast, intense change, that the Fortuna card, not for everyone, has something to do with this old situation that has ended. It could just be an entirely new energy for some coming in, that after you have gone through this phase of your life and this is utterly done, that then you might have some good luck with something. Maybe you will have a small win in the lottery. I do not like to promise people in tarot readings that they will all win the lottery and become millionaires. It could even just be $500 or something like that. It's something you will be happy about. It seems to be of a material nature. It could be anything. But it is something that you deserve. At the bottom of the deck we have the Rose, which I feel reaches already into a new field. It doesn't have to do a lot with your main spread here anymore. It feels more like this Rose card is a new energy that is outside of this spread. That you might, also after receiving the good news about this material income, you might find some inner peace, or just some interest in the aesthetics of life, in the pleasures, in fragrances. Spring is coming, flowers are blossoming. It could be perfume, it could be just, represent something sensual, something just that's beautiful and appealing. But I'm not supposed to go into this one too strongly. This is just something that will come in the future. The main reading is about this topic here. And just for you to know, it might be that after you have gone through all of this, you might feel very artistic, very drawn to aesthetical things. There is something about that. Often I think, let's just assume that maybe you were also very burdened about some financial things, and you might, have this relief here with this Lady Luck card. Sometimes in life, when we are really, how do you express it in English? When you're on your last legs, I think that's the expression, like when you have to turn around each single little cent, you have to count all your money, you have to be very stingy and all that. When we are stuck in such phases very long, then we sometimes lose our sense for art and beauty in life, because we are so worried about existential stuff that we cannot enjoy. We have no nerve to smell flowers because we are worried about how to pay our bills. So it could be that after this is done, you find this sense within you again. And I'm saying it one more time, so don't worry, this is not a negative reading. This is very practical. There is nothing terrible happening to you or to someone you love, so don't worry about that. So I'm just gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.